All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. It's our first podcast here with your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, the Re-Goat. And then as my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend himself, he's kind of like Bigfoot. You rarely see him, but when you see him, you know him. All right.
That's pretty good.
That's the man himself, Big Herno. And
Herno.
then coming from the live, our special guest. And when I say special, I do emphasize the special because man, let me tell you, he's something else. But he stands at 6'4", about 220,
Yep,
pure
yep.
muscle. You mainly see him in the gym or in the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
or in the bathroom. It's only one of those three.
He ain't
But
wrong. He ain't wrong.
that's the man himself, Matty Ice. All right, guys.
Let's go.
It's our first
Natty Ice.
podcast, all right? Pretty much, we're gonna be talking about everything and anything. You know, we're here to um,
Um,
entertain everybody, all right, with stories, past stories, future stories, sports, music, you know, anything. All right.
Whatever's on the top of the brain, we just gotta start letting it flow.
Yeah, look,
Start cooking.
there's gonna be a lot of shit talking here. A
First
lot
thing
of
first. I think first subject should be is Lamar a future Hall of Famer?
Jesus Christ. All right, look, guys, we're gonna get straight into sports. That's the first topic we're talking about here, right? Lamar Jackson is not an MVP quarterback, and he's not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. I'm just stating the facts here, all right? All I'm gonna say about that, he's been in the league for what, about 9 years. Still hasn't
Yeah.
won an AFC Championship game. He's pretty much a worse version of Colin Kaepernick. Um,
No way.
yeah,
He's
Colin Kaepernick made it to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying that
okay,
to
but he
make it
got
better.
carried by what? A pretty good defense, a pretty good team. Looking back,
Okay,
it's
hold on.
crazy. It's
Okay,
crazy.
all right. If we're talking about that, right? We're talking about Lamar Jackson on a Super Bowl caliber team with a Super Bowl head coach. That's 1-1 with Joe Flacco. All right. You got fucking Derrick Henry. You had DeAndre Hopkins. You had OBJ on that team. Like, what are we talking
You
about
brought
here?
up two washed up running receivers.
Hey, I'm just saying, spitting the facts, right?
You're not gonna remember this Ravens or team in 10 years. You can look
Nah.
back at the Niners team in however long it's been and know that that team was pretty stacked. And some would say that was the top tier defense in the past however 20 years.
That
Yeah.
Niners defense, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, I will not disagree. You know, I love my Niners. That's my boys right there, right? Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, before he tore his ACL in that 2013 NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
He's never been the same. That's why he became a Raider. Stating the facts there. But Lamar Jackson, washed, probably will never win a Super Bowl. And anybody that thinks he will, it's fake news.
So just so like I understand, like you just don't like obviously you don't fuck with him as it is, but like it just he because he hasn't made an AFC title game, like he's just automatically shit.
Yes.
Okay, so what quarterback that we have besides Mahomes in the AFC has made an AFC championship game?
Uh, let's see. Let's see. Well,
The man from Fireball.
AFC is not my division, right?
See how that works though? Like
Oh, Tom Brady. What are we talking about?
he's still playing,
Hey, you just said give you a quarterback. I gave you a quarterback.
but we're talking about active QBs. Like I can tell you right off rip, the only one that I can think of is Joe Burrow,
Hey, that's my man, boy.
and that was
Look,
once. So like,
okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Sorry. Actually, I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
no, 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 go ahead. Let's see. Go ahead. Start digging
Look,
yourself in a hole. Go ahead.
Joe Burrow, besides Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls, and I hate Patrick Mahomes, right? But I'll give credit where credit's due, because it's not a biased podcast, all right? Besides Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow is hands down the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. Joe Burrow is probably the best quarterback in the NFL. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But go ahead and finish.
No, I mean I just think like it's hard. Like so, basically every QB in the AFC is shit besides
Right now,
Mahomes and Burrow.
I wouldn't.
Well, actually, I mean to me, like I wouldn't be like, oh, Burrow's legit QB, like but because he's been to one AFC Championship game. It's like, well, anyone could say like anyone could do it at least once, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's a fluke. Like that's what people do with Mahomes. Mahomes went once, and they're like, oh, it's a fluke. And then he won the Super Bowl. Oh, it's a fluke. And then he did two. Then he did two of them. Oh, you got lucky. And then he got the third one. Then everyone's like, oh, okay, like he's legit. Well, I don't think he's legit, and that's not even any bias, but like but people give him credit. Like it's easier for people to give him credit. So I don't think that's fair because I think Josh Allen's a legit quarterback, but obviously he doesn't have like the resume right now to.
Look, Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen. Right. I love where he came from. I love his start to the NFL. I love that he's on the Buffalo Bills. I love everything about him. I recently started not to believe in him after this past season,
Bro,
just
he
based
had
on
no
yeah,
sorry.
exact. But look it, he beat Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. In that game, he barely won. Right, he went to the AFC Championship game and choked. He's choked 3 times. Right, and for me, it's like, okay, this guy is such a high caliber team, and I believe that he is a high caliber quarterback and that he elevates his team around him. I just don't understand why he chokes in the game that he needs to win. That I can understand. So for those reasons, like I'm just more like, all right, I just don't believe in him anymore because it's like, yeah, you could do great in the regular season, but when it comes to the postseason, because that's where it matters, he just seems like he can't get it done. And
And I
for
think that's
me,
where the team comes in.
well, I think it's everything. But at the end of the day, right, it's going to come down to coach and QB because obviously your coach is the one calling the plays, but the quarterback is the one executing. And if you beat him in the regular season once, why couldn't you do it where it mattered? That's all I'm gonna say. That's the only reason why I don't believe in Josh Allen anymore, um, because he can't get it done.
Well, you said he barely beat him in the regular season, so obviously it was a head to
But
head
mind you, right,
competitive
Patrick
game.
Mahomes,
That was just
st-
out of
statistically, Patrick Mahomes played on his worst roster this year, and Josh Allen had a better offense and a better defense than the Kansas City Chiefs, and he still couldn't beat them.
well, I mean, it's pretty. It's not. No one's going to argue that Pat Mahomes is probably already in his career one of the best quarterbacks, and Andy Reid is making obviously his case is one of the best coaches. So they got their
Well,
stuff.
hey, we gotta get back to what got us here. It was Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
so you said earlier in your soliloquy that you know he's not a MVP quarterback. So you're basically saying that, and if I'm wrong, like feel free to correct me, but basically he's not an MVP quarterback. So the MVPs he has won are out of pity.
I
Is
would
what
say
is what
so,
I'm.
right? I only say that. Look, all right. Before I start
Well, we
getting
know
roasted,
why
I'll probably start getting
we
roasted.
know why you're saying it, but for the pod for the pod, it's going to be a different reason. Go ahead.
No, all right. Look, one, I think Lamar Jackson is overrated. Overrated. Like I don't care what anybody says, and I say that because every time football season comes around, everyone talks about Lamar Jackson and what he can do and all these sort of accolades that he's already received. But it's like, okay, if you look at his resume, yeah, he's won like what two MVPs. Some has
Yeah.
some pretty good seasons. I'm not
And
knocking that at all.
you could argue this past year he should have won it over Josh Allen.
Yes, right.
But go ahead.
And it's like, okay, he does all these sort of things. He get all these yards, rushing yards or whatever. But when it comes to the postseason, again, because I think that's where it matters the most, he's won what, one playoff game, two playoff games, gets bounced in the first playoff game that he obviously whoever he's playing, and he can't make it to an AFC championship game. So therefore, that's why I believe that he's not, you know, top 10 quarterback. I wouldn't say that. I think he's a top 10 quarterback, but I don't believe he's the guy. I think he is a guy, but not the guy.
So he's not a future Hall of Famer, though, right?
No, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer at
But
all.
when it comes to Hall of Fame, don't you think it comes from individual play rather than actual
I think it
what
comes
they
down to
won? Because if you look at, I don't know if you're in the NBA, but I mean that's like saying Allen Iverson shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because he didn't win. He made it once, got blew out. But I think him as an
hey,
individual,
but hey,
he's making
uh,
a case. He got all the accolades.
look for
Like I'm
me.
not saying he's a fucking top quarterback at all. I'm not saying that, but individually as a football player, he's he's up there.
I'll say he's a good athlete, good football player,
Yeah.
something different. I mean, compared to what he does on the football field, the way he's able to move, he's great. No doubt about that. Throwing the ball, it's 50-50 for me. But he can throw the ball. Not saying he can't. Great
Oh, he
athlete.
can't. I don't think he can.
But when it comes to throwing the ball downfield, hey man, might as well put Jimmy G as a quarterback right there because you never know if it's gonna get picked or not. That's why I
I'll
believe he
agree.
runs.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, he he's had some pretty good receivers, but I mean you can't count on them to barely peak 1K yards this season
Yeah.
because they just
So
don't get the ball that much.
all right, look, I think
I
we're
will
talking
He's
say
about.
real
accurate.
quick, real quick.
It's
I will say that the last two postseasons for Lamar, I haven't viewed them as like, oh, Lamar's not getting the job done. If that makes sense, because I don't
It,
think it's his like this past year they played the Bills, right, and that's where they lost.
yeah.
Yeah, they played the Bills, and he like we could talk about the first down they didn't get because Mark Andrews dropped it, or the 2 point conversion that Mark Andrews dropped.
ooh, I forgot
Now,
about that.
granted, the 2 point conversion, Lamar could have threw a better ball, but there was multiple opportunities that he facilitated and other guys didn't execute. So I don't put those on him. And then the previous year, I believe they got booted by the Chiefs, and I would say I'd put that on the OC that year because they went into that game completely. They Rigo, when we were in high school and our senior year, we went to the playoffs. We changed our whole defense right week of,
Yeah.
Sound like the
and we
Raiders
got
Super
our
Bowl.
ass whipped. And that's exactly what the Ravens did. The Ravens went into that game, decided, hey, we're gonna have Lamar Jackson, this guy that is a fucking better athlete at quarterback than pretty much most of the NFL, and we're just gonna keep him in the pocket and not allow him to move around. And it completely threw off their game plan. And then by the time they were getting blown out, they're like, "Oh, we'll just start playing football," and it was too late. So, um,
All right,
and
but
I'm not even a big Lamar guy. Like, I say safely that all three of us aren't like huge Lamar guys. Like, if we were building a team, we wouldn't pick him probably in the first like five. Like, there'd be
yeah,
five QBs we'd pick before him.
yeah, and that's the reason
Easily.
why I think he got selected. What 30, 31 overall in the first round, something like that,
Yeah,
or
something like that.
30. Look, all I'm gonna say right at the end of the day is the expectations of Lamar Jackson are that if he doesn't win a Super Bowl or make it to an AFC Championship game, would you consider him overrated? That's all I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, I wouldn't. No, but I wouldn't consider him a great quarterback. If that,
I can see that. I can get
you could
behind
have
that.
to get to like split the two because I don't know. It's like I wouldn't compare him to any other quarterbacks because he's not. I don't think he's an authentic quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
But just for his individual self, he's pretty good.
All right, Hearn.
Overrated? Are we talking like today is he overrated, or like let's say he ends his career in 3 years and he never won one? Would I consider him overrated like all time?
Yeah.
So overrated all time is what you're getting at.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, no, he's not overrated.
All right. All right,
And the
go ahead.
reason why I say that, we talk about like winning championships is what everyone wants to do, right?
Yeah.
Last I checked, A-Rod has been to like 14 NFC championship games. That's exaggeration. I don't know the real number. But he's only won one, and he's only won one Super Bowl, which, granted, more than Lamar. Fair. Not going to
Uh-huh.
argue that. And I think he's got like 3 or 4 MVPs.
I
I
think
would say
it's
most
3.
people, when they talk about Aaron Rodgers, would say he's not overrated, although he hasn't won. So I'm not going to say today, like I said, if Lamar's done for whatever reason, today I wouldn't say he's overrated.
Okay, hold on, hold on. All right. I thought we were gonna end this topic, but now you got me going with a little bit of A-Rod, right? All
No,
right.
hold on. Before you say that, A-Rod's legacy is getting shitted on right now because of the way he is as a person. And people
Yeah.
are. I have been seeing a lot more people saying that he's overrated and blah blah blah, especially with the whole Jets thing.
Yeah, I
But
think the
I
Jets.
don't think
Yeah.
that takes away from his whole career. I think he's still top quarterback to play.
Look, me personally, I think A-Rod, as Stephen A. Smith would say, A-Rod is a bad, bad man. Look, and I only say that because if you're comparing the two, right? If I'm saying
This guy
overrated
think
or
he
not, Aaron Rodgers did it with his arm. Lamar Jackson has ran for more touchdowns, or if not, the same amount of touchdowns that he has throwing them. And that's how he wins his games is by being mobile. A Rod throws from the pocket and has won most of all his accolades by his arm, not by his legs, and what he's able to do. And he's won a Super Bowl. Therefore, I wouldn't call him overrated. I think the move of him going to the Jets and leaving Green Bay and where his career is going now has people saying that he's overrated because he's not able to do what he was, when he was with the Packers. So for those reasons, that's what I would say. But other than that, I think A Rod is a goat. He's a Hall of Famer and 3 MVPs. Yeah, I don't know.
agreed.
All right, but look, let's pivot here. All right, got a couple questions here. All right.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna start with Matt first, right? Because I love
Thank
hearing
God.
with fucking Matty Ice. I love what he has to say sometimes because it's not always right. So it's funny to get it on the pod.
Ironic coming from the guy that said that he's a Lamar's a shittier Colin Kaepernick.
I mean,
Crazy. That's
Colin Kaepernick
crazy.
made the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say,
Yeah,
right?
he had a historic damn team around him, bro. That's crazy.
I mean, that's what everybody will say when they go to the Super Bowl, right? But whatever. All right, we're not gonna get there.
He'd been out the league for
Let's
10 years now.
let's. Yeah, we all know why, but we're not gonna get there, right? That's not. This is not what this is about right now. I'm gonna have you. All right, this is Matty Ice, top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Give me your
No
top 10.
order.
No,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
in
give you an
order.
order, but in order. All right. Fuck.
At least, yeah, I want
Mahomes,
them in order. Number one, okay.
Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Damn, I need to see who's there. Um, give me some names. Give me some names. I got Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Who am I missing?
Lamar.
Well, if it's in order, I can name some, but I can't do them in order.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, you don't got your
Hold on.
phone on you. You can't pull it up real quick.
Hold on. I
Look,
do.
guys, like I said, he's special. You know what I mean?
He is a big Bo Nix guy, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has Bo
Fuck no!
Nix.
Don't get me started on them. Motherfucker.
Bo Nix,
He
he's pretty
loves Bo
goaded.
Nix, bro.
Bo
He's
Nix
probably gonna
is
say
pretty
like,
goaded.
knowing Matt, he's gonna say Geno's like fucking number 8.
Hell no, you're the one that's on that Geno hype.
I don't know. You ain't
All
gonna
right, let
see
me
in my
see.
top
So
10.
I got Mahomes.
Okay.
I got what did I say? Allen. I got Joe Burrow. I put at number 4. Do I have to? I'm putting Lamar at number 4, I guess. I'll go Jaden at 5. Let's see. Who else we got? 5. Is this going off last season or just in
Yeah, we'll
career
just say
wise?
off last season and off like what you predict, like how whatever you feel. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything, just whatever you feel.
All right, 5. 6. Man, I gotta give it to my boy. Happy retirement, Derek Carr.
Oh my god. For
That's a
real?
lie. That's a lie. No, that's a lie.
I was gonna
6.
say, man.
6. I'll go CJ. 7. I'll go. This is tough, man. 7. I mean, Bo did ball out. I'll put Bo. I'm not putting
Wow,
Jalen. Jalen's probably 10.
crazy.
Yeah, Jalen. I think Lamar's better than Jalen, but 7. Brock. I put him at 8. Staff, Goff 9. Jordan. Nah, fuck. See, I fucked up already.
Yeah.
Ask her. Let me put this together because I'm just.
Oh,
Y'all
funny
could have asked me
shit.
this. Y'all could have
That's
gave.
kind
You could have gave me this question before, and I could have had this written down.
Come on, man.
that's crazy.
All right,
Her, go
Herm.
ahead.
Uh, I'll go Colin Coward style. I'll go from 10 to 1. So check this out. So number 10. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that smart. Number 1. Obviously, I think you got to go Mahomes. He's probably the most, uh, you know, winning as a quarterback stat. So he's obviously probably won the most in the league. So it's kind of hard to give it to anybody else. So I got Mahomes 1.
Yeah.
I got Burrow 2. Josh Allen 3. Um, Matt Stafford 4.
Ooh, forgot about him.
Nah.
Jaden Daniels 5. Lamar 6. Um, CJ 7. Jordan Love 8. Herbert 9. And then Jalen Hurts just won the Super Bowl, so I got to keep him in the top 10. So Jalen Hurts 10.
Damn. All right. I guess
You're
I'll go
putting
first.
let's go back. You're putting Stafford. You said you have him at 4.
Yeah, I think he's like I'm big on like I don't know how to explain it, but like I think he just throws like a fucking I think he pretty much makes perfect reads like all the time. Now, if we're
You
talking
have
about like Madden, now if we're talking like in Madden, he wouldn't sniff my top 10. But like
you
we're
have
talking about football, and I'm not saying like I'm not saying he's literally perfect, but I don't think there's I mean, obviously he's a lot older now, so there is a weakness in his game, but like overall, I don't think there's a weakness in his game. If that makes sense. Like I don't think he does something where you're like, fuck, he's a liability. Besides him being
throws
old.
a lot of picks. Throws a lot of picks.
He wins though, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
Sorry, boys. I'm a little
no,
distracted. So we're talking about Matthew Stafford right now?
yeah.
Yeah, he's saying that's horrible number 4.
No, I didn't say it was horrible. I just was
No, no,
surprised
no,
you
no,
have
it's
him
cool.
at 4.
It's cool. It's
Yeah,
cool.
I wouldn't. I can get behind Hearn. I wouldn't say
Oh,
he's,
that's
and I
good,
wouldn't
bro.
agree with Matt either, saying that he's horrible. And I wouldn't put him at 4. I think I would
Well, I
put him
didn't
at
say
5 or
that first of
6.
all.
I would have put Matthew Stafford at 6. I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot about him, but this is Hearn's list. Um, I will leave it up to the viewers on whether they
Yeah, all
agree with
two of you,
his list compared to your list and my list. We're gonna leave it up
Yaya
to
and
them.
Yaya and Max.
Hey, yo, chill out, man. All right, Hearn, you done? You got your top 10?
I'm good.
All right,
Hey, well, we already know. We already know. So for people that don't know or like you forgot, this guy's like diehard Niner fan. So you know he's gonna put Purdy in the top 10. Just it's a warning. Viewer discretion advised. He does dick ride the Niners. So just from here on out, you've been warned. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
all right, chat. Obviously, my number one quarterback. It's no
Brock
surprise to
Purdy.
anybody. It's gonna be Patrick Mahomes,
Uh,
right? Patrick
okay.
Mahomes, and then it'll go Joe Burrow for me. Right after Joe Burrow, probably Josh Allen, and then, oof, number 4 is tough. I would say Jaden Daniels 4,
Yep.
and then I'm not gonna lie, I'm putting Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is goated. I don't care what anybody says. Boys won a Super Bowl.
Fuck.
Don't care. And then 6, um, 6 I'll put Tua.
Oh
Right.
fuck.
Oh,
I'm putting
did you
Tua.
get
Go
his
ahead.
CTE, bro?
Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let
I'm
him
putting
cook. Let him
Tua.
cook.
And then I'm putting Matthew Stafford at what? Is that my 6 or 7? I want to say it's
That
6.
was 6.
That was 6. All right, Matthew
Yeah.
Stafford 6. Um, damn, I'm looking at the list of quarterbacks right now.
Wait, you
7.
just said Stafford at 6?
Stafford at 6. Yeah.
That's then you have 2 6s.
Okay, Matthew Stafford at 7.
There you go.
And then I'm putting uh, damn, this is hard. 8. I'm at 8, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
8. I'm putting Lamar Jackson. 9. I'd probably put Jordan Love, and then 10 is Brock Purdy. That's who I got as my top 10.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah,
You talked about Lamar. What do you have him at right now? 8 or 9?
I think he was my 8.
So what makes what does Tua do that Lamar doesn't?
Throws the ball.
Okay, but they win the same amount though,
Yeah,
and one of
but
them's only played half their career because they're always out. So I was just curious. I'm not trying to say like you're wrong or anything, but I'm just curious like
I think
why.
right. No, and I agree. Tua does get hurt a lot. However, he's able to throw the ball more accurately and be more an offensive player than he is a running back when it comes to the quarterback position. And I think if it came to a shootout, purely shootout, I think Tua will win that shootout every time, 10 out of 10 times over Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, those are my top 10.
It's a questionable one.
You
No,
think
I
so?
feel better about mine because I mean, so I'm gonna go like I said: Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Daniels, Lamar, CJ, Jordan. Uh, what's his name? Purdy and Bo could be either or 8 or 9, and I got Hurst at 10.
Hurts at 10?
Yeah, I aside from his Super Bowl, I don't see a hyper on him. He's I think he's a less of a quarterback than Lamar. How do you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith as your top two, and have some dookie ass stats like he did last year?
Okay. Okay. Let me add to that, right? I agree, right? You have all these people, but then you just acquired Saquon Barkley, which is arguably the best running back in the NFL. It's like the 49ers, right? If you don't have to throw the ball when they had Jimmy, then you could run it, right? But if you have to throw it, you have to throw it. But if you don't have to and you can just run the ball the whole quarter and win a ball game, then I think that has a big factor in whether he has, better stats than he does handing the ball off.
Fair, but aside from last season, it's the same story.
Yeah,
There's
I
not too
mean,
much of a difference of
but
his
then I
throwing,
think what I
maybe
think
100 or 1,000, if that, yards more. But yeah, he's on my 10.
all right. Now let's get to the nitty gritty, all right? Because this is gonna get clipped. Your Super Bowl prediction. Hearn, you go first, because Maddie needs some time to boot up.
Um, shit.
Damn, I ran out of Red Bull too.
I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Rams, Chiefs.
You think the
Do I have
Chiefs
to
go
say the
back to it?
winner? Do I have to say the winner or not?
I mean, if you feel comfortable on whether
No, I
who's
don't.
gonna
That's
win.
why I wanted to ask. Yeah, I mean, I I just I'd love to pick Joe Burrow or the Bills. Um, but I just like the Bills to me offensively, like I don't and after week one, I'll lock in an actual like Super Bowl pick, but you're
Yeah,
asking me right now in July. Um, I just don't know if how much those receivers in Buffalo developed, like how much better they're going to be. Um, and with the Bengals, the reason why I didn't pick the Bengals is who they got on defense. They're putting out like the Raiders defense over there. There's nobody out there.
true,
Like Trey
true.
Hendrickson, Trey Hendrickson's not around. He's still waiting for a contract. And that was their big guy. That's like their big name. Shamar Stewart, the guy they drafted, I don't think he's been signed yet. And so it's like they have no pass rusher. I don't think they have any good. And I could be wrong. Like I don't have like I don't know their roster top to bottom, but I don't think they have like any top 10 guys on defense besides Hendrickson.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's not around, so I'm just gonna Old Faithful, just the Chiefs. You can never go wrong picking the Chiefs, I don't think.
You can't count
Yeah,
them out.
yeah, exactly. When you have Andy Reid as your head coach, and I mean, you can't count him out yet. So
All right, I can respect that. Matty Ice.
I'm gonna stick with the Bills.
Oof.
I think for NFC, it's either gonna be. I think it's still gonna be top two or three teams from last year: Eagles, Detroit, or Rams. I'm gonna go probably. I think Detroit might
Hold on.
take
Before you
it.
say Detroit, remember they got a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. Just keep that in mind.
I'm gonna still go with them.
So you got Detroit and Kansas City.
Yeah. No, Buffalo. I
Oh,
can't count them out, but I don't want. I'm not gonna root for them. I'm not gonna pick them because I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna speak it into existence. The Bulls.
all right. I think I got a good one that's gonna make my old friend Chrissy OVO Six God a little happy.
Bro, Super Bowl? You're crazy.
Yes,
Don't even say it.
I got the Broncos
I,
in the
you're not
AFC.
wrong though.
I
They
got
they
the
did they made
Broncos.
some moves.
I think Bo Nix. I'm not saying that he's gonna have some crazy, outrageous numbers. I just think he does enough based on what he did last year to get his team there, right? I mean, he got him to the postseason, which nobody thought he would make it there. So I got the Broncos from the AFC and from the NFC. Mm, as bad as I want to say the Eagles, I don't I don't know, and I don't want to say the Rams either because I mean all they did was to add Devontae Adams, but
Washington?
Washington. I think they're gonna have like a CJ Stroud year where they're gonna be good, but they're gonna get bounced. So I got my Niners, baby. Come on now, what we talking about here? Was it even a question? I got the Broncos and Niners Super Bowl.
Well, it's not realistic, but yeah,
You know what?
it's your choice for that one.
That's all I got, baby. All right, Matt. What
Yeah, I
coaches
just
do
said
you
mine.
think?
Oh.
What coaches do you think are on the hot seat this year?
oh, hold up, I gotta look it up. Go ahead.
Mm, let's see. It has to be Kyle, right?
What?
I feel like he's been on the hot seat for the past couple of years.
Look,
I think
I
this might be the
immediately
last year
disagree with
where
that.
I feel like there's been a bunch of rumors going on off season the past couple of years and a
Look,
bunch of
I
excuses and
follow the Niners religiously, and
Yeah, we
not
know.
heard
We know. Don't worry, we know.
I have not heard any rumors as such that are credible or yeah, I would say I have heard nothing that is credible from that. But
I'm
go
saying
ahead.
Kyle.
All right. That's the only coach you got right now is Kyle Shanahan.
I think he's number one.
And that's it. Who's your number two?
Number two, let's see. Who made the comment that I gotta look?
Google's your best
Cause
friend, buddy.
yeah.
He's gotta
So
look it up again.
go ahead and give
God
it to
damn.
him.
Oh my god.
I mean, going forward, I mean, if you have these questions, I feel like you can like ask them free. Let
Look,
everybody have their
Why don't
list
you,
and
Rigo? Why don't you go give this guy some time,
yeah.
and
I'm
then
gonna stop
we'll
asking him. I'm gonna give him time. I'm gonna text him the list, right? Look, for
yeah,
me
yeah,
in
yeah. Text
chat,
him the list. Go ahead, text him the list right now.
chat, look, I like it to be uncensored, unpredictable, on the spot questions, all right? So there's no time to boot up. It's just whatever you think, whatever you've been watching is what you say, you know what I mean? We're not here with the fucking dictionary or Wikipedia popped up. You know what I mean? But Google is your best friend. All right. So I'll go first because Matt
Please.
needs some time to boot up. For me personally, the number one head coach for me that's on the hot seat is probably Mike McDaniel's, um, for the Dolphins head coach. Just because I mean you have arguably one of the better offenses in the AFC. Um, Obviously not the greatest quarterback because he keeps getting hurt, but when you got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert that came off like probably top five running backs in the NFL, and you still can't put it together to win a playoff game. Um, After 3 or 4 years of making some crazy defensive moves and offensive moves in your first couple years, and you still can't get it done to win a playoff game, I think your name pops up on the hot seat. And I think that if he doesn't win anything this year, based off if it's his fault that he couldn't, if they start the season 0-4, 0-3, or 1-5, I don't think he finishes the season. But if it's Tua's fault, where he's just hurt and they start the season off bad, then I don't think Tua is on that roster next year. But that's my opinion. Coach number two, I would say Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is, I think he's got to get out of Steelers. I think he has to retire this year, man. I think making it to the playoff games every year, but just getting bounced and just can't win it since Ben Roethlisberger's been there. Gotta go, man.
Do you disagree
Gotta
with him?
go.
I was thinking that same thing. At
I
some
think,
point, they need some fresher, you know, someone new, younger. Well, he is young actually, but they haven't really done much past couple seasons.
man, they haven't done nothing since Ben Roethlisberger, man. Let me tell you. I think those are like my two top head coaches that are on the hot seat this year. Trying to think, what Colts. Nah, it's pretty much. Oh, Zach Taylor, the Bengals head coach, or whatever his name is. Probably got that one wrong, but the Bengals head coach got to go. Got to go. When you don't invest in the offensive line to protect Joe Burrow, arguably the best quarterback behind Patrick Mahomes, you got to go. Actually, as a matter of fact, the Bills head coach got to go too. Shit,
Hmm.
they got to go, man. I think it is this way, right? If you got that, I would say just in general, right? If you got one of the top five quarterbacks in the NFL and you cannot win ball games to take it over the hump, specifically Joe Burrow, then and you can't protect your guy, then what are you doing? You know? Well, people will say what they'll say. But that's all I got. Her?
I thought we were going back to Matt.
Oh, Matty Ice, you boot up?
Yeah. I was
Give it
actually
to
gonna
me.
say the two you said, but I'll say, how about McCarthy, Cowboys?
All right. What about him?
Just so you know, Mike McCarthy's not with the Cowboys anymore.
I don't think we can ask football
Oh,
questions,
he's
guys.
reconnecting. Hold up, hold up, hold up.
You left the chat? All right, chat. Look,
Hold up.
it's going to give him some time, all right?
Hey, just so everybody knows, man, this guy works like 12-hour days, so you know, he's not he don't he's a dad, so
He's a
he don't
man of
got free
sports.
time. Yeah, yeah, he really does. He don't got free time to be fucking. Oh, he's gone. He doesn't have free time to be like staying in the current on football and stuff. So um,
Say
just
something, bud.
give him a break. I know we're making fun of him, whatever, but like cut him some slack.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go. I think I did agree with Matt about Kyle Shanahan. I don't think he's number one for me. But I definitely I think his seat is warm.
Okay.
Like if they
Okay.
like to me, let me ask you as a Niner fan, you guys missed the playoffs. Like you're just like cool. Let's just run it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't. I guess it just depends like what the record would look like. Like to me, if you guys went like pulled up real quick.
Like, and I can get behind that, right? I
My
mean,
bad.
you're good.
You just have to cut that out. No, I just don't see like unless it's like a 3-14 situation, then like yeah, it's pretty obvious. Like the seat will definitely be hot. But if it's a situation where like, oh, we went 9-8 and we just missed the playoffs, then yeah, I'm completely wrong. But at the same time, like you can't keep running it back and running it back and running it back and running it back and expect like, oh, and it's gonna work eventually. Like that's not how it works in the NFL. Like if you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
Yeah,
So,
but
but like I said, like
let's give him a
based on
round of
their
applause for
offseason,
that. I like that one.
but like I said, he wouldn't be my number one. I think you were right with number one. I think Mike McDaniel for sure. He's on the hot seat. Zach Taylor, Shane Steichen with the Colts for sure. Um, there was one more I was thinking of. Tomlin, I do agree in a sense that yes, his seats. I see to me like Mike Tomlin and Kyle Shanahan are in the same boat to me. Like I think their seats are warm. I don't think they're in trouble though to get fired. You know.
Okay, okay, I agree.
What's the other one? Oh, fucking John Harbaugh.
You know, it's crazy. I was gonna say that, but because everyone was gonna say, "Oh, you know what? You're just a Lamar hater," I wasn't gonna
Well,
say
I
it.
mean,
But I agree.
you just said Sean McDermott. I mean, that's like the same. That's the same coach, in my
And
opinion.
and
It's the
what's
same coach.
and what's crazy about these things, right? And I'm gonna tie it back to the Chiefs, is that these coaches, if they left, right, they got fired or they left, they would immediately get hired somewhere else, right? Same thing with Andy Reid. Andy Reid was a good coach with the Eagles, just couldn't get it done. He left, went with the Chiefs, got Patrick Mahomes, and won. So for me, it's like these coaches need like a change of scenery. Granted, they
Yeah,
have one of the best quarterbacks on their like teams in the NFL, like too. And so it's just crazy like how they can't win, but I think if they went somewhere else, they could possibly win the chip. And with a lesser quarterback from who they have right now.
it's just funny. You said that about. It's just funny you brought up Andy Reid because what his first stint with the Eagles reminds me of Kyle Shanahan's stint with the Niners.
Yep.
So I just thought it was funny that you're kind of like pushing back against Kyle Shanahan. I think you know as a Niner fan what kind of coach you have, and you know you're not going to replace him with a coach of that caliber. So I think that's why you're kind of like resistant to thinking like he's on the hot seat. But I think it's like a really real thing. Like I think if things don't go good in the beginning of the season, people. I'm not saying Niner fans, but I think people are going to call for his head, whether they're right or wrong. That's your own opinion. But
You know, I mean I agree. It's just more of those things of, Niner fans are not really realistic sometimes. We got some hope. And I do have hope. I mean, since fucking 2012, when I watched my Niners go to the Super Bowl 3 times and lose all three. Right? We should be what, 7 Super Bowls right now, 8 or whatever.
okay.
But unfortunately, for whatever reason, we cannot get it done. Don't
Good.
understand why. Don't get it. Don't like it. They just cannot get it fucking done.
And I also kind of agree with Matt too about Mike McCarthy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But I do, I am of the belief that if you're a Cowboys head coach, you're almost always on the hot seat unless you've won a lot of games and you have a playoff win under your belt.
Yeah.
So like, I think Brian Schottenheimer's on the hot seat
Okay.
because I think Jerry Jones. I think we all know Jerry Jones is. I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he's like 99 every time I see him.
Shit, boy's been around since World War II, man.
So I just think he's of the mindset like I want to win before I go. And I think he's just gonna have. I think now he's just gonna have a super short leash, and if it doesn't work, he'll fire and hire until he thinks it's the winning combination.
Yeah. Okay. All right, chat. Look, we're gonna pivot here. I feel like we talked enough about football. Um, Different takes here and there, agreeable, disagreeable, and some very unlikely choices at quarterback and rankings, obviously. So we're gonna pivot here. We're gonna go into something more. Well, I wouldn't say it's political, but I think it's a really big move on what's gonna happen within the year. And for the people that don't know what I'm talking about, Dana White hosting the UFC at the White House. How do we feel about that? Hearn, give me your opinion.
I think it'd be badass. Um, I don't think. I mean, I think obviously because who's in office, I think this is something that's actually more feasible than if other people were in office.
Yeah.
Um, right? Because obviously he's almost always at, I'd say, 80% of the big pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So obviously this is something more feasible with him because he enjoys the sport and stuff like that. Um, I guess like obviously it's kind of like a, I don't know how to, it's like an in the air kind of thing though, like at the same time. Um, but the idea of it or the premise of it, I'm on board. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, a lot of people don't hate it. Again, this podcast is not a political podcast. It's just more about our opinions on whatever we feel and things like that. So I'm not going to make it that, right? But some viewers will see because of whoever's in the president seat right now, will have their opinions. My opinion is that I think it's great for the sports. I think it's great for the UFC. I think it's great in general just to see that, you know, for the first time ever, the UFC will be hosted at the White House lawn. And for me to see that, and I think for other UFC fans and lovers or whatever, I think that's awesome. I think that is going to probably be the most viewed um, fight ever. And especially from the rumors I heard, that card is going to go crazy. And maybe, fingers crossed, we get Conor McGregor to fight. Come on. I think everybody's going to watch that fight. I don't know. I love it. I love what Dana White's doing. I love what he's been doing since he taken over the UFC. And I hope we get some more crazy fights like that. Shit, maybe you want to get a fight in the air. I don't know. Get on the
In
C
space, on the
130.
moon, you never know.
You know, stuff like that. You love to see it. I love it personally, and I really can't wait for the card to come out. See who we have. Ilya
Yeah,
Taporia. Like, come
I
on
feel
now.
like it's so far down the road that like it's kind of hard to pinpoint who, because obviously the main event's going to be the main event, right? Like everyone talks about McGregor and like John Jones, and those are all fact, I'm down.
Yeah,
We're going over. We're having a barbecue watching the fight. So like
got you.
obviously the main event, that'd be great. But I'd be curious. Like I think I'd safe to say like you and I are pretty big UFC fans, so I'm more interested in like the undercard to
Yeah,
see like who would be, because obviously this would be a monumental fight, so they're not going to just throw a bunch of random people. It's going to be probably a really stacked card, I would
yeah,
assume.
yeah. I
So
agree.
it'd be interesting to see who they would have lined up for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited about is the card, man. Like on top of it being in at the White House, that's already crazy. And
Yeah,
but to see who Dana White's gonna pick to be on that card is even crazier. Because obviously it's
yeah.
not gonna just be like anybody. So for that, I'm super excited. You know, so that's all I gotta say about that. The UFC, man, doing great things. Shout out Dana White and what they're doing over there.
We should do that with, in one of the next pods is like do our dream like UFC White House card.
Oh
We'll do
yeah.
like 5 fights or something. I think that'd be tight. We'll have to do that.
Hey, hey, stay tuned for the next pod, man. Look, we
Yeah, we
going
got
some
something
crazy.
cooking already. This is how we operate. We just start. See, we don't need Google or we don't need research. We just start freely flowing, and
Man, like
we
I
just
said,
start let it
uncensored,
fly.
man. Obviously, as you can see, we got friends here that we got, special guests. We're gonna try to have special guests on every episode. Obviously, due to schedule managing, um, we can't get everybody that we want, but we're gonna try to have as many people as we can with different opinions. Matty Ice, this was his first time on the pod.
Yeah,
So as you can see, he was kind of booting up. But it's all right.
yeah,
Now we're going to
yeah,
continue to be great. Keep striving. And keep asking questions, feel free to leave comments, email us, whatever you want to see, you want to hear from us. And if you want to be on the pod, we're here to get
yeah. Feel
anybody
free to
on.
reach out. Yeah,
Right.
we're an open podcast. We are open for business.
Yep.
You
And
know,
look, and don't be shy if we ask you some crazy off the wall questions. Like,
yeah, we get in, we can get deep into it if need be. So just know everything's on topic, everything's up for grabs. So you got some skeletons in the closet,
and we'll
think
do
about
our
it before you
research.
come
I
on.
promise you. I promise you, we'll do our research.
Yeah,
We'll find something to bring it up, whether you
yeah.
feel comfortable, uncomfortable. That's the point of this.
I feel like, I wanna real quick, like for like, we're gonna send it off in a bit, but I feel like before we sign off, obviously we talk about sports. Um, just so like for people that don't know about Rigo and I mean shit, we go way back. We go back all the way to
Too
middle
far.
school. It's like over almost 20 years.
Yep.
I think we're at 15, I think. So
Oh,
Rigo and I
shit.
have known each other forever.
Yeah.
Um, and this is just something that, him and I want to do. And we're not looking to get, anything out of it besides a platform for him and I to bullshit on and just share opinions and just talk about whatever. So,
Yeah.
um, you know, on that note, Rigo, I do want to ask,
Oh,
um,
shit. All
no, it's nothing crazy. So I just wanted to know, like, obviously, we grew up in California and we're fucking 30 minutes away from the beach, 30 minutes away from the mountains. We're
Yeah.
30 minutes away from whatever you can think of. We're half hour away.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's been the biggest difference and the biggest change from going from Cali to Texas, that you wouldn't think, like,
Mm.
obviously there's some obvious stuff like weather or, like climate and stuff like that, but like what's something that you didn't think would be a big, like, that would be different that's different in Texas compared to here?
You know, that's a good one. Yeah. I would say environmental change is obviously the weather.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say exactly where I am in Texas. Obviously, I could be in anywhere. But in the location where I'm at, there's not that much grass. And there's really no water besides going to a lake here where I'm at. I'll say those two things are probably the biggest. Besides the
yeah,
cultural difference,
yeah.
I would say those are the three biggest things that are different from living in Texas and living in California. But honestly, I love Texas. I love California. That's where I'm from. That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. Um, Cali will always have a special place in my heart. But Texas, man, let me tell you, I would probably stay here if I wasn't moving again. Because for some people that don't know, I'm on the move. I should be
Yep.
leaving here soon with the next month or so. Still don't know where I'm going, but hopefully it's somewhere uh, that I want to go to. Um, I would ask you, Hearn, but I know you're just strictly in California and you haven't moved anywhere just yet. But wherever I go and I get a bigger house, Herno, you might have to just come over here. You know what I mean? I got a little
Yeah,
room from get a studio going. My boy's gonna
yeah,
have to stay with me.
we might have to cook something up. But yeah, that was one of the things, like, we don't talk, like, obviously, like when we were living close by, we fucking hung out almost every day, I would say. So
Yeah,
obviously, like, we don't hang out as much or we don't talk as much. Um, and that's something, like, I just thought it's a good softball question to get you going.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I was just curious, like, and obviously, like, with what you're doing, there's other things that obviously are major differences in your life at the moment, but um, that was the one I was just curious about. Like, obviously, culturally, it's probably insane, but
yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. Love California, but Texas really grew on me. Definitely don't want to go back. Let me tell you. But look, let's pivot real quick. I actually got Gotta get this off my chest real quick.
Yeah,
I
knew this was coming.
recently went to the movies yesterday. You thought
Boy.
I was gonna ask you something about yourself, all right? But nah. I recently went to the
No,
movies
I
last night.
actually had a feeling when you were last down, I think we talked about a movie, and then you brought up the pod,
Yeah.
like, us doing it, and I thought this dude wants to do like a movie podcast. That was originally what I thought you were like gonna,
Yo,
because we always talked about it, right? Like we used to go, him and I used to go to the movies all the time, and like we'd
movie
come out and be like, yo,
fanatics.
I mean, we were like fucking whores for the movies. We'd go almost once a week,
Probably
and it
almost
was
twice.
like, yeah, and we would see like pretty much anything and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. That's why I was kind of like I was preparing this pod originally, like when we first talked about it. That's why I was kind of preparing it to be.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, like
So
I said, like Hearn said, we're big movie fanatics. Like, I love going to the movies. I love watching movies. Um, just to like rank them, see what's going on, the visuals and everything like that.
yeah.
But I recently went to watch F1 yesterday, with
Oh
one
yeah.
of my friends over here. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised. The movie. Let's start with the ranking first, right? Before we get into it. For me, I would say that movie was like an 8.2. If I watched it again, it'd probably be 8.4. But Brad Pitt
That's crazy.
played his character pretty fucking well. But it was missing something. I don't know exactly. I can put my finger on it, but it was missing something where it just needed more. What would I say? It was just missing something. I can't put my finger on it, but it was missing that something where it needed to elevate it, take that movie to the next level. But the story was pretty good. Highly recommend. F1. Shit, it made me when I was driving home, made me want to go fast. Get a sports car. Cause right now I'm looking to buy a new car. I was gonna get a Tesla, but now I think I want something else.
I like that.
But yeah. All right, guys,
F1.
we're coming up. It's the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
For the next pod that's coming up, you know, talking about more things. We got the bachelor party to talk about. Got the wedding to talk about. Location.
Yeet.
Anything else that's going on in our lives right now. Hearn, he's a
Yeet.
coach. His season's
Yeet.
about to start soon, so we're gonna talk about a little bit more about that.
Yeet.
More about. Hopefully, I have better news on whether I can get a location where I'm moving to, because right now I don't know. I'm going to
Yeet.
school.
Yeet.
A lot more things to talk about, on the next pod. So, hope you guys
Yeet.
tune in. Have some questions for us. Have a different guest on, or maybe you guys like Matty Ice. I don't know. If you liked him, we'll get him back on. But if you didn't,
Yeah. True.
yeah, we probably will never see him again because
True.
he needs some work. So that's what I gotta say. Herno, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah. We're just getting this thing started, and we're not gonna stop anytime soon. So just leave a like, subscribe, follow, whatever we want, whatever we got to do to get this thing going. And yeah, that's all I got.
Well, Hearn, my co-host, I appreciate you being on the pod today. I know
Yeah.
it's a little early, but it's always love, brother. Um,
Yes, sir.
I'll keep in touch, brother. I'll call you anyways or text you. And
Yeet.
for anybody listening, talk to you soon.
Yeet.
Hollywood is out.